I remember at school, everything was that height, and it was those boot scrapers. And in the winter, after each kid had experimented, said it won't happen to me, and lost part of his tongue, you'd see little bits of tongue lined up along on this railing.
It was at a friend's house next door, and I remember sitting on her doorstep, waiting for her. I had my hand on the pole, and the bar was right here, and I remember thinking,
and I was going down the hill, right? I was just going like, I don't know, Mach 7, whatever speed it is, going down a snow mountain, you know, showing off a bit. And then all of a sudden I go to lick my nose, and I lick my zipper. My tongue's like stuck to my zipper. I'm like, they're stuck.
It was probably about 1976. I was still in a school in Windsor Park, École La Certe. Et comme bien des enfants, la curiosité était plus forte que moi. Et j'ai décidé de, hey, let's see what happens. And, you know, those infamous chain link fences that are around the schoolyards, well, I stuck my tongue on the post and ma langue s'est prise sur le poteau. Et en fin de compte, mes amis ont dû aller chercher l'enseignante. And she just went into the school and came back with a glass of water and poured it on my tongue. And
someone said, don't put your tongue on metal because it'll stick. So as soon as I heard somebody said, you can't do it, I did it. And it did stick. I mean, it really stuck.
Then I started to panic. The recess bell rang. My tongue was stuck. So it was kind of a very frightening moment, but I tore my tongue off.
It's these people, like, they lick on metal poles in the wintertime, then their tongue gets stuck. There's a commercial about that. So I tried doing that. And then Nadir, my brother, he was like, what's going on, what's going on? And I was saying this,
This is my brother who helped me get my tongue off a metal pole in winter.
Oh, wait. This is the best way to wear these hats. Oh, it was a cold night just like today. Ugh. It was Christmas. Licked it. Stuck my tongue to that metal door. And in the fear of sticking my tongue to the metal door, I yanked as hard as I could and pulled a little piece of my tongue off. You might see the scar. Just blood everywhere coming down my mouth, and then, yeah, that was Christmas. I ruined Christmas once again.
Sophia was about, what, 6?
4.
It was a cold, blistery afternoon.
My brother kept saying, don't stick your tongue to the pole, but of course I wanted to outdo him, so I did.
Mom, Sophie's stuck, she's stuck. So it was very awkward. We went inside.
They had to get hot water.
Well, and that was the question, actually. You're not supposed to put hot water on because you can actually damage the tongue.
But we
so
did
I learned
anyway.
that day. But we actually put cold water on.
No, it was hot.
Was it hot?
It was boiling.
It felt hot, I think. Anyways.
It was hot.
It was awkward.
It was hot.
We have a dog named Sandy. Well, the first year we moved to the farm, our driveway was 1,000 feet long and had a curve into the garage. And so I put metal pegs all the way along the edge of the driveway with nice bright orange flags so I could see it in the winter. And so one day I had got stuck, this is probably the 20th time I'd gotten stuck. So my daughter was driving the truck, my wife and I were pushing from behind, and as we started to go, all of a sudden the dog started yelping, yip, 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 just yelping. My wife ran around the back of the truck and she started shouting, and I ran around, and the dog had noticed the metal peg and put her tongue on it. And it was the most awful sight I ever saw. My wife was pushing forward on the dog was pushing back with all 4 legs, and her tongue was over 1 foot long and 1/4 inch round, and it looked like a bright pink pencil. And she's going, yip, 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 and finally snap, and the dog tumbled backwards about 7 feet, and she ran off into the farm field next door. She sat there all day long in -25, right in the middle of a bright sunny day, sat in the middle of the farm field, and finally I coaxed her in that evening. I took her in the garage and she drank water for about a half an hour, and now anytime she sees a metal peg anywhere, she gives it a very wide berth.
I probably would have been in grade 2 or grade 3, and I was a safety patrol at La Vérendrye School over in Fort Rouge. It was about 30 degrees below, and I decided this was the time I'd put my tongue, full tongue, like tip of the tongue, right to the top, on the stop sign, and it stuck hard. And I didn't consequently do a very good job of waving the kids across that morning.
But he caught it with the underside of his tongue, and then it stuck to the tractor, and he was hanging about 8 feet up in the air with the underside of his tongue hanging on.
One very cold February morning, remember it very clearly, the handrails going up to the old school were metal. And as we're going out back into the class from recess, I thought, this is my chance. I've got to find out if this really happened. So I'm walking, my hands were on the railing, and I lingered and went, and I stuck. That's my story.
That's our story.
That's my story.
That's my story.
Voilà mon histoire. And I'm sticking to it.